Hi everyone. How is everyone doing? I hope everybody's doing okay. I was not feeling well yesterday, and that's why I didn't do my live with Maria. I know, very poor excuse, but I wasn't feeling well, so um, I want to know how everybody was doing. And yes, I'm wearing my tiara because pretty soon my birthday will be coming. And of course, my hair is not going to look like this and nothing, but I love my little tiara, my tiara. Yes, it's real. It's real tiara, not a fake tiara. Well, no, it's not filled with diamonds, but I wish it was. But this is my tiara for my birthday. My birthday is October 21st. And yeah, so I'm gonna have a little birthday bash here in Las Vegas at Fiesta the Cabo Lounge from 8:30 to 12:30. And I invite everyone who lives here in Las Vegas or who is coming from New York, or if they're visiting here in Vegas, you are so welcome to come to my birthday, which will be, like again I said, November 3rd, because we can't do it on the 21st because, you know, I guess that they had only availability for that day. So I will be celebrating my birthday there, but it won't be on the 21st. It will be on, you know, on the on November 3rd. So on November 3rd, actually, I am also going to be doing like a light for a like a light walk or some kind of lighting for the for cancer survivors, and it's for a young man who was almost at the brink of of death. Okay, but he survived, and he's a survivor. And so this is really for all the survivors who fought cancer, or those who are still going through cancer and need support. And so we are going to do that walk. That walk, I'm gonna have some updates on them because I'm going to be doing that on November 3rd. Hopefully by that time I'm feeling a little bit better. But yeah, since I am a cancer survivor, yes, I am a cancer survivor. I wanted to take this time because I'm going to be doing another video. I always say I'm going to be doing another video, like I said yesterday, but I wasn't feeling well. But I'm going to be doing another video of promoting that because I want people to show up for that. And this is free. You can actually go and walk, and they'll be giving out T-shirts. Don't know if it's free, okay, guys? I don't know if it's free, but I know that they're going to be doing something, in regards to giving out stuff, and so just for the support itself, I am going to go with my friend and JoyLab social media. Like always, you guys already know that I follow religiously JoyLab social media, and that Live with Maria and Moepa social media. When JoyLab social media has events, I usually go to her events or to their events because they're very much fun. And the last event that I went to with the Joy Lab social media was the Foodie Fest. As a matter of fact, I have the Foodie Fest t-shirt on. Yes, I do. Okay, guys. Okay. So I'm just going to put the camera right over and show you guys my Foodie Fest t-shirt. My Foodie Fest t-shirt. Bum, 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 bum. My Foodie Fest t-shirt. Okay, so I hope that you guys, because I'm going to show my other t-shirt that I have that I'm going to be wearing for the walk for the lymphoma. I think it's called lymphoma. And I think that's what he had. And he survived it. He's doing better. He is back home with his family. And so that's why we are going to do this. I am going to be on his team. So it's Team Mundo. We're going to win. So it's really not about winning, but it really is about supporting the cause, being there, showing up, supporting all our cancer survivors and all of those who are going through a rough time and they need support, and they need support by us, okay? Because after all, even though I had a surgery on June 15th of 2015, I survived. So yeah, like, I really want you guys to really support the cause. I will be doing that live, you know. I'm going to, excuse me, baby. I'm going to, update. Right after this, I'll probably update again, you know, and where it's going to be so that you, whoever lives here in Vegas, can join in and join us that day, which will be November 3rd. And also my birthday bash will be on November 3rd from 8:30 to 12:30. And it will be at the Fiesta Rancho inside the Cabo Lounge. So they will be having special drinks, and they will be having a duo singers. They're performers, very good performers, and they will be performing soulful and 80s and 90s R&B music that I love, and old schools like us people love also, and they'll be singing favorite tunes from the 80s and 90s. And those talented performers will be Lamar Warren Lamir. Wait a minute, I'm saying it wrong. Lamar Le Warren, okay, and the beautiful Miss Robin Smith, and she's a songstress. So yes, you can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. I do not know their Instagram, but I'm gonna give them a shout out again when I come back on again. And of course, this Libra, all my Libra teams, all my Libra squad team, better show up because it's for all Libra teams, you know, and I'm a Libra. So I'm hoping that I have a lot of Libras, you know, going to my birthday bash. Okay, because of course we wear our crowns beautifully. So yeah, I would also would like to thank my new followers from Live with Maria. I have new followers, and I would like to say I'm going to do that on the other page though, because they don't know that I have a YouTube. So I'm going to do that on the page. But I have followers, and I'm also very happy that they went into my page on Facebook with Live with Maria, and I'm very happy to announce that. You know, that each day that I have new people that like my page, or at least, you know, go through my page, I'm very thankful. Also for my Hindi Indian friends from India, happy Diwali Day, which is coming up pretty soon. And it's a very big holiday celebration in India. So I wish everyone from India happy Diwali Day. And I know that it is not today, but I am wishing all of you a great celebration and a happy Diwali Day. And I hope that everyone has fun that day. And it's very much a very old tradition. So they really celebrated really big in India that day. So I hope that they have a great holiday for all India, the country India. I hope that all of you have a great celebration and a great holiday. What else? What I was gonna say? So I know that some people they are telling me, my commenters or my subscribers, that why aren't they receiving any updates? Well, I think that the reason why you guys are not receiving any updates, not updates, but every time I come online or on live, you guys are not receiving anything because you haven't hit the ding button on my page. And when you do hit the ding button, if you're interested in seeing me live, hit the ding button. If you're a subscriber, you have to hit the ding button. But if you're a subscriber and you just want to subscribe to my channel, that's okay. But if you're interested in seeing me live here on YouTube on my channel, you can hit the ding button. And that's how you'll know that I am, of course, online. I keep saying online, on YouTube. So yeah, I keep going. But if you don't hit the ding button, you will not know that I'm here live on YouTube. Okay, so I'm also here to talk about something that, a subject, okay? So just to put it in this, because I wanted to go live and I wanted to say something interesting. And well, the topic is that I saw today was letting go. Sometimes we are, letting go can mean so many things. Like we don't want to let go of a person who we have broken up with. We don't want to let go of people who had been in our lives and who at one point we had Kobe, bad boy, Kobe, bad boy. No, no. Wait just a moment. Wait just a moment. Stop. No. You're not being a good boy. No. No. Go over there. Go sit down. So it's like at one point we don't want to let go of people who we love and care about, and sometimes it's very hard for us to let go. I can attest to that because I am a person who, if I get attached and let's say that other person no longer wants to be with me, or that person no longer has any interest in being with me, or that I have to like move away because, like for example, my mom, when I had to move out, it was very difficult for me because me and my mother are very, very close. In regards to sometimes that we need to let go for reasons that could be very important in our lives for us to grow as humans and also as individuals, and to evolve and to, go out there and actually make other friends or have other experiences. And sometimes we want to hold on to things because saddens us to let go. And so sometimes when people are very, very attached, they fear of letting go and losing that person. Now, it does become to a point where that person does become very, very depressed. It comes to a point where fear sets in and they start blaming themselves as to why that person has let go of them. It may have to do with you. Hi, thank you. No, it's not my birthday. My birthday actually is on the 21st, but thank you so much for saying happy birthday to me. Do you see my tiara, Susan? Yeah. Yeah, I'm Team Libra. I'm a Libra, yeah. Yeah. So like I said, today is the subject of letting go. And sometimes when we are in a relationship, it doesn't necessarily have to be a specific relationship. It could be a friendship relationship too. Like we have to let go of that friendship for the reasons that that other friend has other interest or wants to move on. And it's not because my mother lives in New York City. She lives in Flushing, New York. That's where my mother lives. She lives in Flushing, New York. But right now she's not there. She's in San Diego with my niece. So she goes back and forth. Since the little girl has nobody to take care of her, so my mom prefers to take care of her her great granddaughter. Sorry. And so I think that she feels comfortable with that. So yeah, she lives in she's a New Yorker. She lives in Flushing, Queens, but she's not there now. Not very often. I think that I haven't seen my mother. Oh my God, it's gonna be 3 to 4 years. I haven't seen my mother. 4 years. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, and I miss her very terribly. Well, because you know what it is? It has to do more with financial situations. And so if I go to New York, it's more easier for me to travel from here to San Diego and cheaper than for me to travel here to New York City. I am not a very I don't like too much going on airplanes. I'm not down with airplanes, to tell you the truth. I am not down with going and being on a plane for 7 hours. But I am down with going to on a train and like seeing the beautiful scenery that is there. So yeah, I really don't mind traveling on a train or a bus. But for me to travel, like on an airplane, it's very nerve-wracking to me. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And that's the thing that I was just saying that about letting go. And sometimes, death also has to do with letting go. And we just want to hold on to that memory. We want to hold on to that person. And it becomes like we are almost to a point where we are so sad that we become depressed because we usually it's self-blame. Like, what did I do for that person to want to go away or move on, or was I not, a good enough friend, or and it really isn't about the person letting you go. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that some people just move on. Interests change, their life has changed, and they have moved on to either better or worse because we don't know. I mean, some people think that just because people move on is because they have moved on to a better place. And that's not true. That is not true. I realized that actually yesterday, but I'm not going to talk on the subject because it's very personal. But I realized yesterday that when we move on, it doesn't necessarily mean that we are in a better place. It just means that we have to move on and separate from what we used to have in order for us to grow. And sometimes it's very painful, like in my situation, where 4 years ago I came here in Las Vegas, not knowing anything and coming from New York. Well, I wasn't in New York, but I was actually in Albuquerque, Mexico for 7 years. I lived there for 7 years. And I moved here. And, you know, sometimes we think that many other times when we move somewhere, we think that things will remain the same. Little do we know that when we move to another state, our whole, even documents, our residency, our ID, everything changes because we are in a different state. But see, when we don't research that, me and my friend were talking about that. We said, she was telling me, she says, when I go to a new place or when I move somewhere, I try to be prepared, you know, to make changes. Like she researches where she's going to move to. Some people don't do that. Some people will just move to a place, they'll pick up their bags and just move to the new place. And then it's shocking and it becomes impactful in their life because, like me, it became something that I didn't want to let go. And it could be the most simplest thing, but you don't want to let go of it. Like I didn't want to let go of my ID of New York. I didn't want to let go of it. And I had to, in order to live here and be a resident here in Las Vegas, I had to do everything over again. So really, it's an option, really, or not an option, excuse me. It's a choice. You either move and do everything over again and do your life again. Doesn't necessarily mean that it will be a better one, but you will learn and learn to grow with your experience and learn to grow with all the lessons that need to be for you to grow, you know, to acknowledge it, to acknowledge that you are in a process of growth. Sometimes we don't acknowledge that. Sometimes we deny ourselves to grow, or for others to grow. And that's where we make the mistake. Sometimes we need to go through things that are not so pleasing. And we need to do that because we need to grow as individuals. While we think that we are grown and mature, life still goes on. Like just because I am who I am today, I may not have what I have today. I may be in a different place tomorrow, or I may not be here tomorrow. So, we all have to absorb the moment that we are in. And we have to take it as this is a lesson, or this is for me to grow, whether it be to be on your own, or whether it be that you need to, make other friendships or establish yourself in another place in order for you to do that. So we all have walks in life. Yeah, we all do. And yet we fear that. We fear growing. We fear of letting go of the routine. We fear of letting go of the things that make us feel comfortable because we feel comfortable. But guess what? You and I, because I have a great deal of problem of letting go. But the problem is that if you don't let go or if you don't move forward, you won't, regardless if you're going to get hurt or not. You know what? I have learned one thing and today has really been really an experience for me, like personal, like I've been in here in my house and I've been thinking to myself, sometimes when we want to live in our own little cocoon, I always say a cocoon or our little space, we think that we're not growing, but in actuality, we are. Because at one point, life itself will take you there and will take you to the path that you need to go. And God, too, will help you to move along. So, regardless if we deprive ourselves of that growth, eventually life will push us there. Because as humans and as people, we need to grow. Growth never stops because when we get older, we grow. Oh, yes, we do. Because, and I'm going to tell you why. when we are 80 years old, let's just say we're 80 years old and we think that life has ended. No, it hasn't. Because I know that I keep saying because, however, or because we are now experiencing life not as a growth, but as we have come above as a summit, and as we have grown, we are not stopping the growth. We move on to the next level when we die. And regardless if we all have to go there, we do move up to the next level. So life itself never stops, even when we die, because we all have a level to reach. And that level, we continue on to the next life. I don't know if people understand. I am a very spiritual person. I am very spiritual. I may not be I'm not a devout, and I'm really not a person who goes to church, but I do believe in the growth of spirituality, that if we don't grow and we stop our growth, then we're not acknowledging that we have to move forward in order to go to the next level. So we are depriving ourselves of that. And though it is very, very painful, I have been through things that have been extremely painful in my life. And the majority of the times I had to face it on my own. And I try to think of it, like today, that Maria, it's a step forward and you need to move forward, regardless if you fear, because fear is what stops you to moving forward and probably your success or your failure, or maybe not even anything. It could just mean that you have to process a lot of things and absorb a lot of life experiences from others. Sometimes we are in people's lives, and this is true. I didn't want to believe this, but there are actually people that we need to be present in their life for a while so that they can grow and realize, well, look, this maybe perhaps is something that I needed to be so that I can rethink of how I and where I want to go in life. Sometimes people give you the push, whether knowingly or unknowingly. Sometimes you inspire people knowingly or unknowingly. So sometimes, we don't really process that until we have either been there in that place already, or we're about to, and say to ourselves, regardless if we are fearing change, I need to be there in order to grow. We can't, it's just like if you stop a child from actually depriving him of knowledge, of learning, of education, and of of his well-being, and or her well-being, and her or him to grow as a woman and a man, and to be good adults when they're older. You understand? So it's just a cycle, and it's a good cycle. It's a good cycle that sometimes we should not deprive others from feeling. Letting go sometimes can be very painful, like I said before, but sometimes that pain can lead you to something better or perhaps something worse. We don't know. And it's sometimes good to not know, to just let life guide you, and just to let go, and openly and willingly willing to let go, and open your heart, or open your hands, or open your life, or whatever it is that you want to experience in life. You need to open, even though it is very scary. we deprive ourselves from the growth of knowledge and spirituality, and to better understand ourselves and what we want and what we don't want. Sometimes we are lost, and that is my point. We are lost in a time that when we got hurt, we just don't want that hurt to happen. I, for example, am a person like that, that I don't want to move forward because I know that I have been hurt by others, but eventually life is going to bring me in that place where I need to be, because I need to be there. And it's not something that is, you know, when you go out, you are absorbing all kinds of energy and all kinds of things from other people. And we are learning from those people who are outside. We see and we're experiencing, and we as people, we're walking around and we touch lives, even if it's just for a second, but we do touch lives. Even if it's just a hello, we are touching a life. And so that's what I mean. Regardless, if you don't want to grow as a human or as a person, we need to have that, because life eventually will do it for us. Later on, whether it be now or later, it will do that for it. It will handle that on its own. Now, decision making of what comes in life and how we want the direction of our life to go is totally different. Because you can experience something and say to yourself, well, I didn't like that experience. And then say to yourself, I am not going to go through that again, and actually mean it. Some people just go through experiences and never learn from that experience. And until we do, we need, and we go through different people in order for us to grow, in order for us to learn, and in order for us to, reflect and say, okay, this is the time for me to learn and to absorb and to create a different me. A different me, but a better me, a different me in trying to make decisions that are best for me. Not making decisions for others. Like, you could be in a relationship with somebody, regardless if it's a friend, you can actually say to yourself, life has taken me there. Life has taken me there. Life has taken me there, and now I need to make the decision whether I want to stay in this situation or whether I want to be in a different situation that will help me to decide how I want my life to go. Each and every one of us has a choice of how our life can either improve or stay in the same level or go down. Remember that some people get stuck on stupid, is what I say, because they want to remain to the same situation because they don't want change. And sometimes you have to work really hard in order for change. You have to work really hard. There's some people that do not want to work hard. Some people rather remain in this stuck on stupid and not move forward to see what can be out there in life that life has to give me. And let me tell you, life is what it is. It will give you good, it will give you bad, it will give you horrible, and it will give you tragedies, and it will give you happiness, it will give you laughter, it will give you sadness, it will give you depressions, it will make you experience that and make you who you are and who you need to be. And eventually we don't stop there. We don't stop there, but some people actually do stop there and they refuse to move forward. And it's just like when you experience the process of death. Okay? When I get angry, I say, oh, and I always say that when I die, I'm going to stay in the same place, like that. And I get so angry. but that's out of anger. But even in death, you have the choice. I totally believe that we have the choice of either growing after life or remaining in the same portal, is what I call it. In my mind, this is just me, not that everyone believes in this, okay? And it has nothing to do with that I'm trying to change people's belief. Has to do with me, has nothing to do with anyone out there and what they believe. If you believe in God, then you hold on to that and hold on to your belief, because guess what? I respect that. I respect anyone that goes to church and and actually has faith for the higher being, and for the for God and for Jesus. There's some people that don't believe in it. There's some people that do. There's some people that believe in the Virgin Mary. There's some people that actually don't. Okay, that's your belief. I cannot take that away from you. But like I said before, I believe and truly believe that when we die, we also have the choice of either remaining in the same portal or going to different portals. Okay, I do strongly believe in that. And my thing is that when we die, we never stop growing, just like here in life, only that we are there spiritually. And so if you want to remain in the same, in between life and the spiritual world, sometimes that may not work out. Because then what happens is, and I believe that, is that we're not going to experience a level where we need to be at. And yeah, I respect that. Yeah, to each its own. I always have said that, to each its own. Everybody has their beliefs. Some people are Buddhist, and it depends on your inclination. You understand? Like, I'm more inclined to the spiritual, and and that's my inclination. I'm not really a person that is going to sit down I have done it though. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like to go. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like to go to Catholic church. I mean, I don't, because it's they do things repeatedly, and it, but I have gone to churches where they're very voiceful and singing, and and just rejoicing in a really beautiful way. But I have to actually feel it in me in order to go. Like, actually, I need to go to church, but I really have to need the need to go, not just because I want to please somebody else. No, I want to feel like I need to go and need to talk to Christ and need to talk to the Holy Spirit and need that spiritual peace and need that spiritual tranquility. So when I say that, I am not going to go to church just for because somebody wants another member in a church, which usually is, or because they need other members and they want members and whatever. Okay. So moving along, so I do strongly believe in that, and we all are afraid to let go. And sometimes, like, there are toxic people who don't want to let go, who want to remain with a person that no longer wants to be with them. And that's just the way it is. Some people do not, and some people don't even know that there are in toxic relationships. And so they hold on to that, and they, and they go to a process where, yeah, my mother doesn't go to church, but I tell you, Susan, my mother is always reading the Bible or reading La Novena. It's a novena that she does every night at 12 and at midnight. Every night at 12 at midnight, she takes her little novena and she reads it. So I respect everybody's belief, and sometimes I say to myself that not all people, though, some people are actually genuine in their Christian ways and also their religious beliefs. They actually live that life, like I want to do good to others, and I want them to be embraced by my happiness, and by the Lord, and by God. And and these people take those people, and they actually bring them in, and they have created a new person out of that person. I am a witness to that. I have a friend who was in a very deep depression, and she's a totally different person. She's like, wow, and now, she wants to do things. She goes to church, she helps people, and she helps the homeless, and this and that. And I see a whole different person because of that other person. You understand? And sometimes what doesn't work for one person, you keep going and searching, may work for another. And it doesn't mean that just because it didn't work with that one person, doesn't mean that that person is a bad person. It just means that that person has a totally different belief. But I found out that, as she moved forward to finding that right person to connect in her level, she found my friend, which actually is my other friend. So I have two friends that have connected in a very spiritual level, and believe in the same thing. And and they go after the same thing. So just because it didn't work out with me, I believe in God, but it's just that my beliefs are totally different from theirs. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be friends with them. Why? And there's some people that is very dumb, because people actually do that. Just because that person has no longer, you know, is with you, or has found a new friend, that's part of letting go. You understand? And she has found a friend who now goes with her to church, and they do things together as friends when they go to church, and actually when they are also together. They go to concert churches. I'm so proud of her, because she baptized her. She was baptized, and I'm happy for her. And yeah, they just hate that. You said the right word. Ignorance. There you go. Very good word. Ignorance. Ignorance is the downfall of everyone. Even me. We are ignorant because we don't have enough education and learn, and to really look up things, and be a little bit more knowledgeable of of what is really going on. You understand? And sometimes hate and ignorance, though it's not the same thing, is what keeps us from growing, is what keeps us from moving forward, is what keeps us from making new relationships and from making new friends. I can be talking to you right now, and yes, I have fear of all those things, and I may decide to move forward on particulars of those subjects that we're talking about in specifics, but it doesn't mean that because I'm fearful that I'm going to be ignorant to the point where, as a person, I need to grow. And so, yeah, you can fear all you want, but eventually you're going to get there. You're going to be there. And it's really not up to us, really, because it's just where life takes you. And you just it's going to take you there and that direction. And you know why? It's the energy. It's just energy that takes you there. And so some people don't realize that, and say, well, how the hell did I get here? You know how we all say, well, if you had told me like 3 or 4 years ago that I would have been in da 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 place, I would tell you, oh, please, oh, hell no. Like, I'm not going to be there because I don't want to be there. But then as time goes by and years go by, you start realizing, how did I get to this place where I didn't want to be or that I feared? And we're not processing that at that moment. We process it as we go along and we sit down and reflect on things that we are either going through or have been through or are experiencing. So we ask ourselves, how did we get to this point? Energy. Energy is what takes you there. Okay? Everything has to do actually with energy. Okay? In parts. Okay? So when we talk about chemistry, we actually are talking about energy. So when, like, let's say, for example, you are crazy about someone, but the chemistry isn't there because maybe that person isn't feeling it with you. It has nothing to do with you personally, it's just the energy is not vibing the same way. It has nothing to do with your looks, and nothing that we're not really actually talking about looks here. Now we're talking on a deeper level. You understand? And so it has to do more with energy. It also has to do more with, inclination. Like, okay, I'm more inclined to this than to that, but eventually we have to move and take a shift in our life. Like make a shift, just exactly what I'm doing. And your life shifts and it takes you to where you can be better and grow. Because sometimes you may be set on that. Okay, I want to do this and this and this and this, and I'm going to do it, and that's my goal. But then we find out that while we're moving along and doing that goal that we're set to do, and we have a limit, it shifts. And then you are experiencing something new. And then the goal starts changing to, like exactly what I'm doing right now, and it starts looking different. The picture, your life, and everything. It is a slow motion shit. It's nothing like, it's nothing fast. It's just what it is. We moved in slow motion and we moved exactly what I'm doing right now. You understand? All of that has to do with energy. And so we just move again, and we never move back. We should never move back. You see, we should always move forward, because look, as I'm moving back, what do you see? Even though the plant is there, it's not really that great, right? What you're seeing is not an envisionment of greatness, okay? Because as we move back, now I'm not telling you by moving back it's always bad, because sometimes we move back to see where, if we really want to really be there, even though we have changed shifts or our life has shifted a bit, we say to ourselves, okay, let's take it slow to see if I really is what it really is and I'm liking it or not liking it. That's your decision. You understand? That's your decision, whether you want to remain in the same where you have made your shift or where life has shifted you. That actually is your choice. If you want to remain there and you feel comfortable, then move forward. See, as I move forward, everything starts looking different. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to say, that not everything in life is all bad and it's all negative. And we actually can make, like I learned today, every negative thing that happens to you in your life doesn't all necessarily have to be negative. It can also be positive, and you can turn it around and make it a positive for you. Okay, so yeah, as I shift, like I said, it's really not a process of a fast thing that moves forward and, no. Life is taking you, and it's taking you slowly but surely. Okay? But if you resist, like resist, and you have resistance, like you're resisting something and you don't want it, then how is it that we're going to able to grow? We can't. Even when we move, like sometimes we don't want to move and we say how much we hate moving. Well, guess what? Sometimes we get too old for a place. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a story because it's very true. What I'm saying to you. My mother has lived in the same place for almost, could say almost 40, 50 years. Okay, I'm going to say that, but I'm not going to say like, okay, that's fact. Okay, she said, I'm going to be living here until the day I die. Sure, yeah, of course. But guess what? She has shifted. She has shifted. Yeah, she has. Because now where she thought that she will remain, and she thought like way back and said, when you kids grow up and I'll remain here all lonely and nobody will want me because I'm old, like I'm old and I won't be able to go anywhere. And that's not true. She's now in San Diego. I mean, not that she doesn't live there, but her life has shifted. Even though she does not like change, life took her to where she needs to be right now. I believe that she is better off where she's at right now in San Diego, health wise, because that's what I'm saying. Like many times when we don't want something, it becomes something that is actually for the better of you. Because yesterday we were talking and she says, I feel lonely. So now, I feel that when she travels or when she's with her great grandchild, she feels better. She's in a better place. You understand? And so sometimes when we say, I am going to stay here forever and no one will move me from where I'm at, it's totally, totally nonsense. It's ignorance. And it's just plain out fear. And everyone has fear. I don't care how brave you are. Everyone has fear. I don't care if it's heights. I don't care if it's dogs, pets, or whatever. Everyone has fears. Everyone. But we have to pass those fears, like I said, to move on. So letting go is really, really difficult. But sometimes it's good. It brings good surprises and maybe not good surprises. It brings some bad experiences and sometimes it brings some good experiences. It will bring you good people and then it will bring you some bad people. Then it will bring you in good relationships or bad relationships. Sometimes it will bring you to relationships out of from where you're actually at, and you have to move further forward to find your place. Okay? So yeah, like a lot of people are experiencing a lot of changes in their life. And personally, like my friends, I want them to grow. And I fear a lot of things. But sometimes we need to let go for that person to grow. Even they need to let go of me sometimes that I don't want, but I need to grow. And sometimes God or or just the energy or whatever it is will bring me to another person so that I can learn. And what I mean by learn is like, okay, I'm on social media right now. And sometimes we need to be with people who can show us the way so that we can learn from them on how they work. But you have to find your own niche. You understand, as you are learning, you have to find your own thing, like your own thing, and not copy from others or rely on others to teach us all the time. Sometimes we need to fall, boom, and then not have anyone to pick us up, because I am experiencing that. I have experienced that daily, like, okay, like every time I go through an experience, I see that I'm always alone and I have to pick myself up. But also, I have learned from that, and also not to. I used to be a person that it was hard for me to let go of people, and now I realize as I got older that I need to be where I need to be in order to let go of some people because I was too attached. And sometimes it's better to detach yourself than feel, like a whole lot of sorrow in you. Because eventually it's going to happen where we need to, at one point, let go. Regardless, because people leave this earth. And so it's going to be harder. Like that's how I see it. Like I'm so close to my mother, but yet I see that I need to be where I need to be so that I can move forward if one of us dies. You understand? And sometimes people don't want to talk about that. Like, oh, why the hell is she talking about death? That is a sign of growth, people. It really is. And regardless if we don't like it and we don't want to hear about it, it is a sign of that we need to evolve and grow and let go. Because eventually, if I die first, she needs to move forward. And how do I know this is because sometimes when people are separated and like in a long distance, it's better to remember them as they were. Okay? So for me it's more easier to think about my mom in a very happy place, in good memories and even in bad ones when we were together for so many years, holding on tight to each other, than to just, hang on and be with her forever. You understand? Like I'd rather die first than my mom because I don't ever want to see that. So in order for me to let go, I have to be where I'm at now so that probably her and I can remember each other as is. You understand? I hope that people you get what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's hard for us to face and confront people who we love very dearly. And then when we see them, it's like, why did you leave us? You understand? Why did you go? And sometimes we are in a distance, like, okay, like for example, in Puerto Rico, and she's in New York and she moves on and passes on. And sometimes we say, oh shit, I didn't get to say bye. Well, maybe it wasn't meant for you to say bye. Maybe it was meant for you to just remember that person as they were. You understand? Because it would be harder for us to see them in that place or in that, in that state. And sometimes people can't take it. And sometimes, like, and this is true, like when I've never seen a burial, like I said to you before, I have never seen a burial. Never been to a burial. I don't want to be in a burial unless it's mine. When they gave the junior, I'm going to go back to junior just for 5 minutes, and I saw his burial. I actually shouldn't have done that because I actually went into a panic attack and I couldn't breathe. And that's what I'm trying to say, like that, like those things. Can I see my mother being buried? No. Now I know that I can't see people buried because I just went into a panic attack when I saw that. And I saw the process of death. I literally saw how people go down onto the ground, and it was so impressionable for me. Like that made such an impression on me. Like, wow, like I had never seen that. And then it went through my mind how, what that mother's experiencing at that moment, you know? So that's what I mean to say. And sometimes life also gives you the very hard lesson that we have to let go of something that we don't want to let go, but eventually life shows us that we need to let go, and that this is the final end and let that person move on. And regardless if we don't want that person to move on, we need to let that person move on so that they can move on to a better level. It's just the way it is. So people don't think that moving on and letting go is a bad thing. Sometimes we need to let go. But sometimes we need to let go so that we can grow and learn and experience, and it's a teacher to us. Life is a teacher to us so that we can study ourselves and our lives. Life is teaching us, and we are the students, and we have to study our life and study the things that we have done in life, so that whether we can mark ourselves here in life as an A or an A plus or a B or a C or an F. And it's really not like that, but what I'm trying to say is that we are students of life. And then we become teachers to those who need to learn. And we become just that. Only we don't realize it, but we actually do. So that's what, to me, letting go is. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's a very hard thing to do. It really is. And as we grow older, we learn that, you know? And my lips are so dry, I keep going, ugh. It's a very bad habit that I have. But yeah, guys, it's like I wanted to touch on that subject because I saw several videos, and here, not on YouTube. It wasn't on YouTube, but very good example. I don't know what the young lady's name was, okay? And she had an accident, and okay, it was a story that I saw on YouTube, and not an accident, but she actually caused it. She was struggling with relationships, and she was struggling at the time with a boyfriend, and just life issues itself. Young girl, very beautiful. She had a whole life ahead of her. Very beautiful girl, beautiful face. But yes, she was complaining about her life. And she was complaining about this boyfriend, and that the boyfriend had left her, and I guess that she had personal problems with her boyfriend. And that day she came back home, and her mom saw that her daughter didn't look the same. She looked very sad. She wasn't her perky self. She was, very a very very quiet, very not herself, like very bubbly, she said. But her mother knew kind of like what was going on, and she knew that her daughter was going through a very difficult time in her relationship. And so then, the girl got up, but she was complaining. She complained about this, she complained about that, she was complaining about her relationships, and da 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 da. Okay. So she went to the bathroom, she locked herself, and I'm going to put the phone down because right now my hand is hurting me, but I want to show you an example. When she went in the bathroom, her mother heard, like this, like a big pop, like pop, like really loud pop in the bathroom. But she knew that her daughter was in the bathroom, and she heard this really loud pop. And she asked her daughter, "Are you okay?" But her mother was in another room though, and her brother was, present at the time when this happened. And the son came out and told the mother, "Mom, her daughter," she said, she got hurt, and not in a very good way. So when the mother saw her daughter, what had happened was that she pulled the trigger on herself. She had a gun. She took a gun, and it was, I don't know if it was a rifle or a shotgun. and she, boom. Luckily, the girl, she survived all of that. But her whole face, from the big boom that happened, her whole face was blown off. Okay? She no longer had a nose. Her whole nose was all messed up. She no longer had cheekbones. She didn't have a face. Her whole face just blew off. Yet she was alive. Now, she had to go through a lot of reconstruction. She had to learn how to talk again. They said that she would not live, that she won't be able to, and if she did live, she would be in a comatose state, that she wouldn't be able to, to eat, talk, or anything. Well, that didn't happen. She came out of it. They reconstructed her face and they did a whole thing, and they showed like a clips of the young lady in the hospital and how her mother stood by her side, how her father and her brother were supporting her in a very, very, excuse me, difficult moment. When they did the interview, which was on BBC News, they asked her if she saw herself or probably missed her old self. And all she said was, I wanted a second chance. And God gave me a second chance. And I am happy that I have a second chance to live. When she touched herself at one point, she said, when I see myself, she sees herself as a different person. She no longer sees herself as that very beautiful girl that, had her friends, had a boyfriend, and that she complained so much about her life and her life struggles that now she saw herself and that, oh yeah, she still wants her beautiful face back, but she will not have it like she used to. So when we complain so much about our life, like again, it took that experience for her to realize that she needed to grow on another level of life. And her life actually shifted like really fast, okay? We complain and complain and complain, and we don't realize that we actually have it good. And she had it good, but yet she found her life not the way that she wanted, and she was unsatisfied, okay, because of the one person that didn't really care about her. So now what she desires, like her mother said, when she sees her daughter, what she used to be and what she is now is a totally different person physically, not what she is inside. She's still the same inside, and she still aspires to get married. She still aspires to have a great career in counseling. She still aspires to have a family. See, her face is not the same, but and I saw this and it amazed me, but everything else remained the same. She's still the young girl that she was before, only now she has a different face. And her mother said it. She said, where did my other daughter go? But she doesn't realize is that she has her same daughter, but she's looking at a different face, And that's what I'm saying. Like, you got it so good, and then you're never satisfied. And life had to give her that very like life told her, you are going to have to live this and you're going to live through it so that you can be an example to those who are never satisfied with their life, who complain, yet they have everything, but yet complain. So life showed her that it's not really about looks and it's not really about the person that you're with that needs to make you to change. It's an event so tragic like that that eventually had to make her change and make herself look at herself and realize that now that she no longer has that beautiful face, only her desire to, and she's still beautiful, but is not in the same way. So that looks are not everything, and that you should never give your time and your energy and your all to just one person. If that person treats you wrong, remember, let go and move on, because eventually you will find a better place and a better person. And maybe you may not. You have to go through stumbles in life in order to reach that. We don't always reach what we want. It's what is there at the present time and what God wants. Eventually, it really is up to what God has planned for all of us. And what we may have in our minds as a plan, God may say, this is not the plan that she or he should be in. Let me make them go through this so that they see that this is not where they should be going. And it really is about that. Now, do I feel sorry for the girl? Yes, I do. I do feel sorry because she realizes that she had it and that she wished that she had her face again. But guess what? Her problems were not as big. Now her problems maybe not be big, but now everything that she so longed and wished for, like her face back, she wants it back. But what was more important to her is that she got a second chance to make her life a better one. And to realize that not everything has to do with you wanting things at that very moment, but to realize that sometimes when things go away is because it's for the best of us. And that sometimes accepting it is hard. It's really hard to accept things, but we need to go to the next level and move on. And even though it's painful, eventually you will heal, you know? And we will realize not to make the same mistakes so that we don't get hurt and we don't shut down our growing and spurring and blossoming into better people. That's all I'm saying. So everyone, happy birthday to me. I hope everyone loves my tiara. And I hope people, it will be live. My birthday will be live. And it will be live either on YouTube or Facebook. And you can catch me there or on either one. You know you guys are going to be with me, right? At my party. So regardless if you're not there present, you will be there spiritually with me because, of course, I am going to be recording all of the many, or we're going to go live, yes, but, we're going to be experiencing what I'm experiencing, and you and I will be together at the day of my party. And remember, my live will go on November. I know that I said yesterday that I would be live late, but I would, like I said, if you're viewing in and you're just like behind the scenes and you don't want to come forward, the reason why I didn't go live is because I was not feeling well. I'm still not feeling well, but hopefully by the time my birthday comes, which is really soon, I hope to be in better health. So people, I hope that you can join me on November 3rd, and join me also for the lymphoma walkathon. I call it a little walkathon. People who have survived cancer, or people who are going through cancer, or on remission, and this is all for our survivors, okay? But not just for survivors, but for people who are going through cancer, and like I said, people who are on remission. If you want to join us on this walkathon, it will be on November 3rd. And of course, I am going to bring up the time. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe it will be either at 4 p.m. or at 5 p.m. in the evening. And of course, we would love for all of you to join us. It will be a very special event, and I'm sure that everybody will love to join. And this is for a good cause. If you are having a family who's going through lymphoma or any kind of other cancer, and you wish to join us to fight for the cure, and fight for for other causes, like fight for, I saw today that they're fighting also to not having products not having products made that cause cancer. This is very true. We also want to fight and stand for the elimination of products that can cause cancer. And we have to eliminate that so that we can also have less cancer, less cancer deaths, and really support this cause, because it's a good cause. And I really hope that people of Nevada will join us, all locals and tourists too. If you want to join, you may join. Absolutely, it is free. They will be having t-shirts, giving out t-shirts. I'm just saying this because that's what I heard. This is not fact, but though I will be asking someone who is more knowledgeable of that event and who can possibly give me more information on this event. But my event is on November 3rd. My party bash, my party birthday bash, I should say, is on November 3rd. It will be at the Fiesta inside the Cabo Lounge. Okay, so it will be from 8:30 to 12:30 a.m. Make sure you bring your comfy shoes, and if you wish to bring your friends, if you wish to bring all your Libra friends who are having a birthday, please do so, bring them. Remember that every day is your birthday. You don't necessarily have to have a Libra team. You can also have a Scorpio team and be the cusp born between Libra and Scorpio. The whole point is for us to jam to good music, drink to special drinks, and have a good time. Our special guest will be Lamar, Leigh Warren, and the beautiful and very talented songstress Robin Smith. Please don't miss this performance, and please do not miss my birthday bash, which it will be really, really fun, because as everyone knows me very well, and people who know me very well, I love to have a good time. So I am almost positive and almost can guarantee that you guys will have a good time, because it's very rare that me Live with Maria or Mawipa social media have a bad time, because I hang out only with cool swag people. So remember, everybody, join in and stay tuned for more updates on Team Mundo. We are fighting for lymphomia and for the cancer survivors and those who are also in remission, and also those who are currently right now going through a very difficult time and who are going through cancer. I pray and only pray that you may go through it with peace. And remember, that you are not alone. You do not stand alone. We are here to fight the battle with you. So please stay tuned for that information. And like I said before, if you want to go to my birthday, yes, I will be wearing my tiara. You can reserve your seat and your table and your spot with your friends at Joy Love Social Media. Again, do that, repeat again and say it again. It will be at RSVP at Joy Love Social Media, because she is actually the host of this event. So please go to her page. Like I said, go to her site on Facebook and RSVP and reserve your table with your friends. You can bring as many friends as you want because there will be special drinks. And please bring your most comfy shoes. But please remember and keep in mind that you need to RSVP so that we know how many people are going to go and how many people are going to go. And so we want to count tables so that we have enough seats for everyone. This event will be very, very cool. Okay, so make sure to come. Don't miss out on this event. Okay, and it's time to go. But before I leave, I want to thank all of my subscribers who have subscribed to my channel. If you want to hear more or see more of me, Maria Mawipa Social Media, of course, hopefully I can bring good content and interesting stuff to talk about. But you also can email me or inbox me or just go down on the comments and tell me what you want to hear me talk about. And I'll be glad to talk about it, okay? So if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. Thank you for the person who gave me a thumbs up. Or you can give it a thumbs down if you didn't like it. And if you wanting to subscribe, remember to subscribe and hit the ding button. Remember to hit the little bell that's on to your right side when you subscribe, and it's right at the bottom. Remember to hit that ding bell and you will hear more updates and also when I come on live. So please stay tuned. And I love everyone. And I always have this little song that I do when I leave. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Hi, Jules. Da 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 da. You came in late, Jules, but that's okay. Hey. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Jules, I will be making this video again later on, or you can watch it again. In this video, I am talking about letting go. Okay, so you will see a whole video. I will have it up because normally I have my videos. I leave my videos up. Now, most people do not leave their videos up due to the fact because it's too long and people don't want to sit to a long as video. But that's okay because you can see it in parts. Okay, you can just ding and just take a pause to the video and say to yourself, I'll come back to it. Okay, I do that. When I go see videos of Go Lightly or Erica, which those are the people that I follow, or Martin. Martin has his videos short, and also Access Media. They usually have their videos very short, so they're good, because they're already experienced. I'm not experienced at this, so I'll just say whatever and just keep on repeating myself and until the hour or so is over. But like I said, I am talking about letting go and also a little bit about spirituality and about how your life shifts and about direction and where sometimes we don't want to let go, and then life and just energy just shifts us to a different direction. So, yeah, I'm still sick. I was gonna go out today, Jules, but thank you for asking. I was gonna go out today, but I don't feel well. I decided to wear my tiara because, Jules, if you're here in Nevada and you are visiting, I am having my birthday on November 3rd, and it will be at the Cabo Lounge in it will be at Fiesta Rancho inside Cabo Lounge. Yes, it will. And so it will be at 8:30 to 12:30 a.m. And make sure to have your party shoes. Make sure to have your party shoes. Bring your friends, all your Libra friends, even your Scorpio friends. You can also bring. I can't even see the. Wait a minute. Let me see what she says here. Yeah, I keep on repeating my. You don't keep repeating yours. Oh, yes, I do, girl. You're no, no, no. Actually, Jules, my birthday is on October 21st. That's my real birthday. And but they're going to celebrate it on the 3rd because people who wanted to make, me a birthday, or they wanted to create an event for my birthday. Some people were not able to make it on the 21st because their their scheduling didn't permit them to come to my birthday on the 23rd. I mean on the 21st, so they made it on November 3rd. I personally, I don't care because we're all Team Libras and Team Scorpios. Oh, yeah. So if you have like a Scorpio friend who's in the cusp born Libra and Scorpio, right on. Even if you are a Scorpio, you're still right on. Even if you are a Libra and you couldn't celebrate your birthday, come on over because I am a Libra. Ooh, and it will be a very, very nice birthday bash, and it's a Libra birthday bash, and it's going to be at the Fiesta Rancho inside Cabo Lounge, and it will be from 8:30 from 12 a.m. And so your best friend was a Libra on. You know, I find it so sad. Now I'm so sad because everybody has really left you, Susan. That's really sad. You have had more deaths than. That's really sad. I'm very sorry to hear that. But Jules, don't go away. Wait a minute. I haven't read Jules' messages. Wait a minute. I want to read her messages, live messages, and come up. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. Jules says hi to Susan. Is your birthday? No, it's not on November 3rd, but it is, like I said, on October 21st. And Las Vegas has a lot going on. Love it. Oh, Las Vegas is the bomb. And okay. And my best friend was a Libra. Rest in peace. And yes, rest in peace. And do you follow Jay? Do I follow Jay? Who's Jay? Who's Jay? Oh, Jay! Oh, I know who Jay is. Is he the religious guy? I'm almost sure that's the religious guy. Is he the one? Yeah, I do follow a Jay though. Yes, I do. I also follow Martin Fernandez. I follow Erica Fuller. I also follow Go Lightly. I also follow All Access Media. So I follow those people because I feel like they are really good. Yeah, I do follow him. Yes, I do. Only you don't see me saying hi or anything because I tend to, when I go into a comment page, if I hear something that interests me, then I will comment. Otherwise, I just stay in the back because it gets really chaotic. Sometimes when people do their thing, I just let them do their thing. Yeah, I follow most of them. Like Go Lightly, she is the most one that I see. Her channel is the one that I frequently see, and also Erica Fuller. All Access Media, I see him when he talks about Junior. Like I have specifics on people who follow Junior and have updates on Junior, or other people who live in the Bronx, and they can tell me the updates from there. Yeah, they are all great. I only wish and aspire to be as great as they are because they have the ones who have taught me to speak, and just to speak. I never spoke this way, like I was never free to speak. I was very, very shy. But anyway, yeah, I follow them, and it's like they bring. I also follow Brittany Chanel, and I tend to follow her not on a regular because she's actually not all the time online. I keep saying, why do I keep saying online? She's usually not on YouTube, and but I follow Brittany Chanel, and she's very thorough on her information. By the way, yes, it is. This is Junior. Yes, his trial is coming up. I also hope. Thank you for reminding me, Susan, of that. I hope that people from New York really support this cause and stay at it because Junior's mother is going to really need, excuse me, that support. And I want people to back it up if they really mean about the junior justice for junior cause, and that keep in mind, people, that Junior wasn't the only one who lost a life. I also spoke of a Jose Velez that actually another YouTuber named Martin Fernandez was following and is still following. His trial and those idiots' trials are coming up, and hopefully they will be tried for a very, very long time. As we know, Jose Velez was shot in his own car while taking his very young baby girl, very young, his baby girl to daycare, and his wife at the time was with him when he was shot. Apparently, he was shot by two thugs. I call them thugs. Yeah, I hope so too. By these thugs that I believe, came up to him and were arguing, and I think it was Thomas Bowles who came up and was arguing with him, and then he brought in his friend, stupid friend Michael Rodriguez, I think his name is, and he was the one who gave Jose Velez the final and shot, and I believe it was in, to the head, and his wife had to see that. So here is a wife who will be a widow, but not only that he will no longer be with his family or will see ever his daughter or his wife ever again due to two criminals who just wanted to cause, wanted to cause an argument and be petty and shitty about it and took a life. Jose Velez was not a young man who was in any kind of gang related activity, had no kind of relation with gangs, was not even in a gang. He was a very hardworking married man and with a little daughter. And so that day he was, yes, going to work and probably leaving his wife to work, but unfortunately that never happened. Um, I will try also to bring you the updates, and I do believe one is going to be on the 22nd. I have it on my notebook, but I need to take my little Kobe out, and I'm going to be back on that, just on that, so that people will also go and show support for his wife and his little baby girl. I hope that the Bronx people will try to make a change for the better. Remember that you are not just standing up for the justice and the cause for Junior, but for every Junior and every little girl and every little boy who lives in the Bronx will no longer have fear of gangs taking their lives away. Also for the parents, your child, if you leave this alone and you don't try to make a movement out of it and try to make a change, for our kids' future, then it will be the same. There will always be a Junior, and there will always be an Isaid, and there will always be gangs because we won't ever want to step forward and take action because we fear, like I said before. Fear is your greatest enemy. And so we have to move forward and make change. And even though I want to say something to you, even though, yes, we may lose some lives because of it, remember that it is for a cause and it is just not
just not the focus of just justice for Junior, but for every little child or for every young kid who died at the hands of gang members. This is for them. So you're actually not fighting just for Junior, but you're actually fighting for other little children and other children like Junior who are 15 and younger, so that they can be safer out in the streets and not go through the same thing that, of course, Lysandra is going through. So hopefully we all will show up for that. And remember, people, that we must always keep calm when we do, walks like this that are so not only imperative that we do it, but also that we do it quietly so that we can be heard, and and do it in a very quiet manner, and in an intelligent way as well. Okay, we want to be heard. We don't want to cause chaos, and we don't want to fight. And hopefully they will bring these fuckers to prison for the rest of their lives. Okay, so I will be back on that info, and also I will be back again for the update on on the times. Okay, so everyone, again, I'm gonna do my song. Da 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 da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So everybody have a safe evening. Please stay tuned for later. I will be back, and this is Live with Maria. Please stay tuned for later. I will be back. Love you, people, and goodbye. Mwah. Bye. Good night, Jules. Good night, Susan, and goodbye, and good night to everyone. See you soon. Bye. Mwah.